Rich people love digital shoplifting. Let's talk about it. Axios recently wrote this article that I loved, and it basically said almost half of Gen Z and millennials that are making over $100,000 have committed first-party fraud. And basically, first-party fraud is like when you say you never got a package, or a package was stolen when it really wasn't, or disputing a credit card charge that you really made, or saying you never made that sports bet. That's all considered fraud, and disproportionately people that are making more money tend to do that. And it's not about economic necessity. It's not necessarily these people feel like they're backed up against the wall and they have to commit this fraud. It is more wealthy people stealing because they can. And the psychology behind that is so fascinating. Our brains process stealing digital money or physical money completely differently. The moral weight of stealing something digitally often feels a lot lighter because we're not physically taking anything. We're just clicking a bunch of buttons or like making a bunch of calls. And the psychological distance that creates, because we're not like handling physical cash, can create kind of psychological distance from like the ethical implications of that act. Like it doesn't feel like a crime. And because in a lot of ways, it also feels like a victimist crime, right? Like you're not, facing somebody and like robbing from them directly. It kind of feels like you're robbing from this abstract corporation, or you're not really you're robbing from this faceless person. So it doesn't really feel like a big deal. And social proof can play a really big role here. So if fraudulent behavior becomes normalized within a community or a peer group, a lot of the moral compass or like internal alarms kind of get quieter. And the high percentages in this survey kind of suggest that behaviors have become socially acceptable in some circles, creating a contagious social effect. And what's interesting is that people are admitting to this in the survey. Like they're not really viewing these acts as like ethical, moral violations. They're kind of just viewing it as like something that everybody's doing. So like, why wouldn't I do it? And there is obviously a very troubling trend growing around this, which is that if our ethical frameworks don't work the same way online that they do in person, this can create a ton of gray area. And it might not just be stealing from corporations. It could be other types of amoral, asocial, unethical behavior online that people normalize because they are not interacting in reality or face to face with somebody.